Welcome to another episode of the Meal Prep Monday podcast. I'm your host and founder of Prep Dish, Allison Schaaf. In today's episode, I am talking about 4 time management tips. Before we get into the episode, I have an email to read from Prep Dish subscriber Anne. Anne writes, "Hi there, longtime Prep Dish customer, and I am loving the new Instacart links. My grocery shopping just went from something I put off to an easy task that I can complete in under 10 minutes. Thank you for continuing to work to help make my life simpler. My family appreciates all that you do, and we are still loving the food." And thank you so much for sharing. If you're listening to this and you have not tried our meal plans, we have a 14-day free trial set up at prepdish.com/mpm. If you have not tried our meal plans, this is a great time. She mentioned the Instacart links. Those are pre-filled shopping carts. How I can explain this is you click on a button and it takes you to a shopping cart that has all the ingredients you need for the week. You can then make edits, adding things, taking things out that you already have, swapping out brands, but it's done. And it's even if you make edits, it's all so quick and easy. So this just takes that one step of getting dinners on the table each week and just makes it so easy. So again, that's prepdish.com/mpm if you would like to try out our meal plans, including these pre-filled shopping cart links. Okay, so for today's episode, I wanted to share some time management hacks that have been working for me, specifically in adding on a 4th child. So I shared in last week's episode that we recently went from 3 to 4 kids. A lot of these tips are kind of tried and true in my household, but also have very specifically helped over the past few months just to make sure everything is getting taken care of. I'm getting taken care of. The kids are getting taken care of. Like all the things are happening. And most of these are actually broadly applicable to any situation, even if you're not, currently adding a baby to your house. But then I can share like a few specifics of like, hey, here's what I'm doing in my situation. But there might be a different, way that you could apply this tip. So the first step is getting help. This is essential whether you have a new baby or not. In order to get quote unquote everything done, or at least what's important, you need to get help. And with a newborn, this can look like a lot of different things. For me, I'm most focused on sleep. So me and my husband have a system where he takes the first part of the night and I get up really early in the morning, think like 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. and help with kind of the second shift. We've done this, I think, with all of our babies. We also get someone to come in and do overnights 1 to 3 nights a week, just enough to kind of keep us functional. But there's so many different areas where you can get help. Maybe it's having someone come in to clean the house, maybe getting the kids to and from school. Maybe a relative can help with pickups or drop-offs or, kids' laundry. Like I always look at things to delegate and get help with as like, what is not a priority? I personally do it, right? Like some priorities for me are spending more time with my kids or one-on-one time with them, getting time to myself, getting time to work, getting time with my husband. Like all of those things are important. But what are some tasks that I'm doing that I could get help with so that I can have time for the things that are important for me? So that's really how I'm looking at that. And also, figuring out like there's a season, right? Like there might be a season where, instead of getting your house cleaned once a month, it's like every other week or every week. But then, going back to less frequent later on. So, there's kind of seasons for things where you may need to tap into more help. Number 2. So this is the one that is very specific to not just a newborn, but I guess baby in general. And that is baby wearing while doing tasks. So finding a good baby wearer. I have different ones for different stages. I actually have a shirt called, I think, Lalaboo or something, that when they're little itty bitty tiny, I can wear and it's easier. And then a wrap, and then I switched to a more structured carrier. And there's certain tasks, the number one being meal prep. So I don't like to be in the kitchen, like with a hot stove or an oven. Like for that, I'm not always comfortable baby wearing, but chopping is something that like baby seems very happy with me doing. So yeah, just kind of figure out the tasks, like folding I can do, so there's things that baby wearing are like perfect for. And the baby loves it. It's good for bonding. So that's really something to get comfortable with. And I feel like I get more and more into that with each kid and realize like what a good hack that is in order to like get things done. And also baby seems happier in there than any other place, especially those early weeks or months where they don't really like to be set down. Number three, meal plans, having a plan for meals. So of course, I'm using prep dish plans, but it doesn't have to be that. Just as long as you sit down the beginning of the week, know what your plan is. Is there a night that you need to do takeout? Jotting down what you need for each day of the week in terms of meals, putting in a grocery order, all that sort of thing. So, I'm using the prep dish plan so that way I know, hey, I've ordered the groceries. Maybe I'm scrambling on some days, but like I know that there's a plan and a meal and a recipe, and all I have to do is like figure out the time to make it happen. The next one is embracing technology, finding ways where you can save time. The thing that comes to mind here in terms of meals is, our new pre-filled grocery links, having the groceries delivered. I mean, just having that grocery shopping go from 30, 45 minutes to be 5 or 10 minutes to get the grocery order in. Oh, that's such a time saver for me. Just having that be quick and easy, and just figuring out, are there other ways where I can, maybe ask AI some questions or have technology helping me to just figure out ways to save time. So that's 4, but I do have a bonus one. And this bonus one is more like, hey, this is a specific thing that's working for me right now, but maybe it's something that you could look at and say like, how can I use this, I guess, like strategy? Is there something in my life that's not working right now in terms of timing and time management? And how can I look at it differently? So what I am doing right now at dinner time that helps a lot. So babies, a lot of times during the mornings and even maybe afternoon, like kind of, they're not on a schedule, but they're a little more predictable in terms of like their wake cycles and sleep cycles. And a lot of times in the evening, I feel like anytime from 5 o'clock on, they get a little fussier. It's kind of like that witching hour. And we've had that happen, I want to say with 3 of our 4, and not much different now with baby. Like I just feel like from 4:30 on, she's unpredictable. She can be really fussy, and that's fine. That's just part of like how she is right now. She's, really young, and that's how babies are or can be. And what I found though works for me is with dinner, I plan on getting dinner. So we eat dinner at 5, but I try and have it ready by 4:45 at the latest. And what I will often do is if she happens to be napping, or even if she's not, I sit down at 4:45 and I start my dinner. I start my dinner by myself, and then the entire family joins. I like to have dinner as a family. We still have dinner as a family at 5 o'clock, but I start mine at 4:45. And that way by 5 o'clock, I can continue to sit with the family and enjoy dinner with the family. But if someone needs to hold a baby, I'm able to hold her. Yes, I'm capable of holding a baby and eating at the same time. I've had 4, like I can do that. I don't find it as enjoyable. I like to be able to eat my dinners with nothing in my arms. So I sit down 15 minutes early, and then that way I can eat dinner and, hold the baby if needed. And I'm not feeling like frustrated. And me and my husband aren't doing this like back and forth. Okay, you take her. And like, I'm going to go get something for the kids. And it just makes dinner a lot more enjoyable. I can sit down and we all enjoy this like family dinner that I've, planned for, like starting with the groceries to the prep to all these things. I orchestrate it, I make it happen. And then if there is a baby crying, that does not interrupt the plan. And I've had my dinner, I've enjoyed it. My husband has his dinner, he enjoys it, the kids do as well. It's usually all together, but if I have to excuse myself a little early, that's fine. Everyone's still kind of having this family dinner experience. And maybe it's like I have mine the first few minutes of the kids, and then, Brooke hands me the baby and he is enjoying the rest. So it's kind of like this tag team thing that happens. But it just eliminates what could be a frustrating moment of like, oh, I just prepared this meal. I wanted to sit down to eat. And it's kind of like putting that oxygen mask on first, right? Like I'm going to make sure I've eaten so I don't get frustrated. So, again, very specific situation, but I share this just to, I guess, demonstrate like with time management, I really like to look at it and be like, okay, what isn't working or what is frustrating me right now? And is there a different way I can look at this? And while that might sound like a small thing, it happens every night. And I don't want to get frustrated at a crying baby because it's going to happen. So it's like, how can I work around this so that I'm not getting frustrated? So if there's something in your life, timing wise, that frustrates you or something that's popping up, is there a way that you can structure it differently so that it's not frustrating and you're getting ahead of it? I don't know, maybe. If this does spark an idea for you, I would love to hear from you either on our Facebook group, which will be linked in the show notes, at Prep Dish on Instagram. I'm just always curious to hear if like these, things spark any ideas for you that are listening. But that's all I have for today. Those are my 4 tips for time management. Something that's become more important than ever in my life right now. I hope you found this useful, and I will be back again next Monday with another episode. Oh, and one more thing. Before I leave, a reminder that if you do want to try it out, our meal plans, it's prepdish.com/MPM. See you next Monday.